decisions that you guys make when you're looking to get involved in the stock market at the very, very beginning will be the most critical decisions that you make that will impact where you are down the line. Guys, welcome to the Independent Investor Channel. My name is Ryan. We're filming from New York City, New York, the Big Apple. What we're going to talk about here is the crossroads. And, you know, guys like myself who come on here and they give testimonials can certainly reflect back. I mean, I'm 40 years old now, and when I reflect back over my life, I can pinpoint critical pieces of impasse in my investing career, all right? And especially in the overall grand picture of life as well. But we're talking about investing on this channel. What do we learn from it? You know, is it possible to pass that information on to others to help avoid or eliminate some of those mistakes? And the answer is we can. But I find all too often that when people are making decisions with regard to their investing career, the unfortunate part about investing is that unless you get lucky and you just happen upon the correct decision, and even if you do happen upon the correct decision, are you going to stick with that decision because you've got the discipline to know that you happened upon the right decision? Or does it take somebody to give you that referral or give you that validation, right? Give you that testimonial that I give you guys all the time, right? So when I reflect back on my particular investing career and I sit back and I think for a second, all right, I'm going to take the 40-year-old Ryan and I'm going to talk to the 20-year-old Ryan, or even earlier, okay? What would I say? What would I say to that young investor, right, to help avoid or accelerate profits going forward? Each and every one of you guys will be presented with these crossroads in your life, all right? Now, unfortunately, as crossroads may imply, you end up choosing one path or you choose another path. Okay? It doesn't mean that both of those paths are both correct or they're both wrong, but it definitely could mean that one path could be a lot better than the other. So what do? How do we make these decisions without having a lot of knowledge about the market? And you guys know how interactive I am with my particular viewing audience, and especially with my subscriber base. I come across this all the time where investors are hitting me up. Hey, I've got this $1,000. I want to get invested tomorrow. You know, what account do I start and what stocks do I buy? You're trying to take on everything at the same time. And I'm going to make this very, very simple for you guys that are new investors and you're tuning into my channel and you're picking up tidbits of information, good information, hopefully. But the most important thing that you could possibly do in your life is when you're met with that crossroad, that you identify that you're at that crossroad, all right? Now, I'm telling you, you're there, okay? You're there. If you have not started an investment account, let's say you have started an investment account. Let's say you've started Robinhood. Let's say you have a 401k, all right? You guys are presented with a crossroad. You are presented with a decision, which in fact will put you either on one path or it will put you on another path, all right? So let's focus on you guys at the impasse or at the crossroad of your decision making, and you guys have a decision to make. How is it that we research what's the right decision, all right? We'll get to that, all right? So the decision, one of the most important things that you could possibly do in your investing career is make the right decision. What I find all the time is that unfortunately, new investors that don't have a lot of knowledge about the market are about as ill-informed as they need to be. And unfortunately, they end up diverting and seeking the help of a third party. And that's not the correct way of doing it, all right? What's going to end up happening, and what ends up happening for a lot of people, is they end up deciding on one particular path, all right? And they put themselves on an investing road, all right? Now, once you've put yourself on an investing road, the more time that goes by, the more devoted to that particular path that you're going to be, okay? What I mean by that is the more devoted you are to this path over here, let's say 10, 20, 30 years goes by, the less likely you are to jump over and get on this path. Okay, that's when I talk about the divergence, right, or the vector that occurs in that decision-making process. How important it is to put yourself on that right path right away. All right, now, unfortunately, in the investing world, a lot of people are over here on the left path. All right, they put themselves on a path to become a restricted investor. All right. A restricted investor is one, in my mind, that is self-deprecating. I don't know anything about the market. I can't help myself. I've saved up a little bit of money, but I don't want to lose money. I don't know anything about this. I can't do this. Leave me alone. And I'm going on this path. I'm going to seek out the services of a financial planner, and I'm going to end up on this path. What's going to end up happening on that particular path is you're going to start to realize along that path, and you're going to realize it at the most unopportune time when you start to get statements back, or you start to get your 1099 divs at the end of the year, and you're like, wow, it was an up market. Why is my account in the negative? Why is my money here in brackets? Why is this showing a loss in my particular account? What are all these fees coming out? I was trying to contribute money every month to this, and they've taken money out. A lot of the reviews I'm doing for people, I've been the one to identify on those particular brokerage statements that are coming back from them, that they're losing money. They're hemorrhaging money within this account, and they don't understand. It's because they've made the restricted path, right? And why isn't this more evident? Well, it's because what I talked about, right? You're ill-informed in your decision-making when you first enter into the stock market, and you think somehow if you seek out the services of a professional that they're going to provide you some sort of strategic advantage. You see all the time on television the condescending nature of the commercials about people pulling their money out by panicking, and then they come crawling back to the financial planner to seek out some sort of help and advice. Guys, I've got some tasking for you guys. When you guys are watching commercials or advertisements come across for financial planners, see if you can't pick out the undertone of condescending message, letting people basically know that they don't have enough knowledge to do it on their own. All right? See if you can do that. But you hear all the time about people on this track, and it really comes from a place of being naive. They really just want to just avoid it, and they want to trust. They want to have trust on the unrestricted path. And so often than not, a lot of people are devoted, guys. A lot of people are working hard. You know, they want to contribute, they want to invest. And by nature of those desires to be a participant in the stock market, sometimes just being a participant is good enough. That's it. I'm good. I'm participating in the market. I like my financial planner. They're my friend. And I don't care about all that other stuff. I don't care. Leave me alone. I'm contributing and I'm okay with it. Remember, further along the path, right, it's harder to switch over. All right? So we digress a little bit and we put ourselves back in the decision chair, right? And if I'm speaking to some of my audience out there that are 20 years old, let's say, and you're looking to seek out your involvement in the market and you want to hit it a home run right away, which is a lot of reason why I came out with this channel, is to allow people that if they listen to the common themes of my message and they say, geez, you know what, I'm going to research this and I'm going to validate it, by all means, go ahead. Or you just listen to what the heck I'm talking about and say, you know what, Ryan does it, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to give this a try. You may not understand all the ins and outs of self-directed investing, but you're going to give it a try. I know in my heart it's the right thing to recommend for you guys to do. It's the right thing. And you guys are going to learn, live, and evolve as time goes by. All right? So instead of putting yourself on the restricted path, now we look at being at that impasse and deciding to put us on the unrestricted path, right? The unrestricted path of self-directed investing. And I get hit all the time with questions with regard, Rohan is one of my best subscribers. one of my friends actually through the self-direct option, right? We've worked through some financial retooling for this individual. Awesome person, hard worker, very interested in the stock market. But he hit me up with a question here recently about, Ryan, what are the rules about selling and buying and selling? And if the stock goes down, what are your rules about buying more of the stock? Awesome question, right? Over here, on this unrestricted path, I don't have any rules. I don't have any rules. I'm not trying to put you guys on an unrestricted path and then put a bunch of rules in place for you guys. I'm not trying to do that. My answer to you, Rohan, is if I'm up a stock and it's 6% and I want to sell it, I just did it this week. I was up 5% in Comcast. I exited the position, made $3,000 profit. I'm done. I exited the position, right? I don't want to put a bunch of rules and expectations on this particular account because by nature of choosing that unrestricted path, I already know I'm a winner. I already know it. I already know that by tax protecting my money, number one, and wealth preserving my money by nature of eliminating all the frivolous fees within retirement accounts, I can play ball. I can play ball on this unrestricted path over here. I've made the right decision. I was faced with that impasse in my life. I was faced with it. And I chose the unrestricted path. And that's kind of what I'm doing for you guys. And when you guys end up on this unrestricted path, you're going to understand that when I talk about empowerment all the time, the freedoms that you'll enjoy over here are insurmountable. You don't have to call your financial planner to execute a trade. You're able to monitor your accounts every day if you want to. You can have your accounts accessible right from the palm of your hand on your smartphone. You have the ability to put the assets that you want in that particular account. And all the appreciated value that comes because of the decisions that you've made, you enjoy yourself. You don't have to share those benefits with anybody. You don't have a money manager coming in every single year and pulling 3% or more off of that account. Guys, it's pulling our accounts down on the restricted path. The unrestricted path, guys, that's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about empowered as an investor. Empowered. I want you guys to put yourselves in the driver's seat so you guys can enjoy the benefits of the unrestricted path and the path of self-directed investing and the benefits that exist within self-directed investing. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Independent Investor Channel. It's really awesome to be with you guys. Really, in closing, the whole idea and the whole premise is to try to get you guys making the right decisions early on in your life. I want you guys to kind of sit back. If you've sat back through this entire message and you've been like, okay, Ryan, I get it. We got the restricted path and we got the unrestricted path. I get it. Two different paths. Okay, Ryan, I'm good. I'm going to put myself on this unrestricted path and I'm going to start my self-directed Roth IRA account. That's awesome. And you don't really understand why. I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of a secret, okay? And here it is. And I do this from time to time. And this is usually where I strike a vein with people or I strike a nerve with people. If you're on this unrestricted path over here, right, I want you to take a step back for just a second. And I want you guys to imagine yourselves on the doorstep of retirement. And when I mean on the doorstep, I'm going to mean that you guys are 60 years old and you're looking to hang it up after 30, 40 years of a good career, all right? Wouldn't it be nice to look back over your decision, to look back at that impasse that I talked about that everybody goes through in their life and say, you know what? I made the right decision. I made the right decision and look where I am now. I've set myself up and now I'm ready to enjoy the fruits of my decision. Guys, hit the subscribe button for me if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified of any future uploads that I put on YouTube. Leave your comments at the bottom, guys, with regard to the unrestricted and the restricted path in investing and the importance of making those initial decisions, those critical initial decisions, guys. You may not understand all the ins and outs about the stock market initially, But take some testimonial advice, guys. Research it for yourselves, and I think you guys are going to come to the same conclusions that I've come to over the last couple years with regard to the unrestricted path being the only way in the investing world to really liberate your finances going forward. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck in your investment future.